Greetings to everyone at RoboNation. We, Team DTU AUV, are extremely proud to present to you our latest vehicle Lapis, developed for the RoboSub 2021 competition. My name is Mihir Ranjan, and I'm a third year student of electrical engineering at Delhi Technological University, and I serve as the team captain of DTU AUV.
I'm Utkarsh Sharma, a second year mechanical engineering student at the Delhi Technological University. I was responsible for the design of the chassis and manipulators of the vehicle.
Hi, I am Saurav Ranjan, second year electrical engineering student at Delhi Technological University, and I was responsible for the power distribution system in Lapidus.
Hello everyone, my name is Shivang Dadani and I am currently in second year studying electrical engineering at Delhi Technological University. I worked on the battery management system of Lapras.
Hi, my name is Sriram Chava and I am a second year electrical engineering student at DTU. I was responsible for the development of the higher level control subsystem of Lapras.
Since the revival of DTU AUV in 2016, 2021 will mark our first time participating in RoboSub. Therefore, our approach to developing Lapras was to aim for a minimalistic design capable of all tasks, which would give us valuable lessons for future competitions. Compared to our previous vehicles, we have designed an economical, compact, and lightweight vehicle, which is a significant improvement since it incorporates an acoustic stack and 6 degrees of freedom.
The frame of Lapis is the main supporting structure in the assembly and is well optimized to avoid stress concentration and to sustain the loads without any considerable deformation or failure. It uses 4 mm thick 6061 T6 sheets as the material. Since the frame is based on a plain truss structure, water jet machining is used as a manufacturing method, and this sheet metal structure is supported by custom brackets. The base plate supports the electronics hull, the front camera hull, 4 heave thrusters, 2 sway thrusters, torpedo launcher, and the gripper. Each side plate holds a surge thruster for a total of 8 thrusters on the vehicle. The bottom plate supports the battery hull, bottom camera hull, and dropper. The design of the frame ensures easy assembly and accessibility to every component attached to it. Since 4 thrusters are used for heave, the thrusters are allowed to run at the optimal PWM values, giving higher efficiency while submerging.
Since we're targeting all the tasks, a major challenge we faced was reducing the complexity of the system while keeping it compact. From previous vehicles, most of the bulk in our system was a consequence of extensive wiring inside the hull. Over the past few vehicles, we have aimed to reduce this wiring by utilizing custom developed boards and PCB traces for both signal and power distribution. The boards are kept apart to avoid interference between the signal lines and high current power lines.
Power management in Lapras is done by the power subsystem. The main power source of the vehicle is to 4-cell 10,000 mAh LiPo batteries. These batteries are placed in an aluminum hull to allow better cooling and easy replacement of batteries during testing. At a time, only one battery is used and a custom battery cutoff and switching board was developed to cut the main battery and hot swap to the backup battery to prevent deep discharge for both batteries. The PCB utilizes high current relays from TE connectivity and uses the balance connector of the LiPo battery to measure the individual voltage of each of the 4 cells and switches the battery at the required time.
The output from the battery hull is fed into the custom designed power distribution board with 7 volt and 5 volt rails. The battery voltage is fed into the ESC hydrophones and the DC-DC NUC. An IP68 double pole double throw kill switch is also used to shut down Lapidus in case of an emergency as a failsafe. It is connected to the input of the DC-DC NUC and is located outside the AUV for easy access. The 5 volt rail supply power to the acoustic evaluation kit and the 7 volt rail supply power to all the servo motors. In our previous vehicle, we had silicon wires distributing power to all the components. This made the entire electronic stack very messy and also led to slow debugging. So the entire system was replaced by a single PCB which replaces wiring with traces conforming to IPC norms, making the entire system more compact and modular. We tested the PCB traces on the previous design of power distribution board and found their current carrying capacity to be sufficient.
Lapras' higher level control subsystem has a custom designed board that acts as a shield for Arduino Mega. The custom designed board also provides an interface for all the sensors, thrusters, and the servo motors. The main control subsystem consists of an Intel NUC and the DC-DC NUC. The NUC serves as the central processing unit of Lapis and carries out all the image processing, acoustic signal processing, path planning, and other algorithms. The DC-DC NUC is a dedicated boost converter that outputs a regulated 19-volt supply to the NUC to prevent any damage. The acoustic subsystem consists of 3 hydrophones, MAX 11043 ATL evaluation kit for evaluating the hydrophone data, and the Launch XL F28379D, which is responsible for processing all the data and relaying it to the NUC. A well-defined electronic structure, as in the picture, allows us to incorporate all necessary sensors and manipulators in a very compact space. We aimed for a runtime target of 40 minutes, hence a total capacity of 20,000 mAh was chosen. For the with Moxie task, the gate will be detected by the front camera using the yaw sweep after the AUV has submerged. For the choose your site task, the AUV will go through the Gman section due to more well-defined images. To earn the style points, maneuverability is of key importance. Hence, 8 thrusters with 6 degrees of freedoms have been employed in the vehicle. All the ESCs are located collectively on a mount and are located at one end of the hull. The PDB is kept in close proximity to the ESC mount, greatly reducing the wiring. Throughout the electronics rack, multiple slits have been given to make the wiring shorter and make the components more accessible. For the above 2 tasks and make the grade task, 2 USB webcams, one at the front and one at the bottom have been used. They are powered by the NUC. The NUC processes the images from the camera and finds the path leading to the buoy. After that, it looks for the path leading to the collecting task.
The bottom camera is used to continuously track the orange path and get to all the tasks. The IMU BNO055 is placed such that it is in the center of gravity for the most accurate orientation estimate. All manipulators are controlled by HS5646WP servo motors, having an operating voltage of 7 volt and a stall torque of 12.9 kg per centimeter.
A double-barrel dropper controlled by a single servo motor is used for the collecting task. The lid of the bin will not be lifted and a drop will be attempted in the bin by processing the G-man image. For the survive the shootout task, a double-barrel torpedo shooter has been implemented, which is controlled by another servo motor. Both the torpedo and the dropper barrels have been designed such that there is a minimum distance between the 2 barrels for maximum accuracy. This also increases the success rate as we get 2 chances to drop the ball and shoot torpedoes.
We have used a servo for the dropper mechanism. The first ball is dropped when the servo rotates to 30 degrees and the second ball when the servo moves to 60 degrees. We have tested the mechanism on a previous design during the testing phase and achieved a good amount of accuracy.
The PCBs and PDBs are designed to reduce the wiring in the vehicle and hence reducing the chances of errors. This made debugging easier and made the E-tray less bulky. Initially, a prototype was developed after which the PCBs were designed and manufactured. The previously developed PCBs and PDBs were extensively tested. This year, we have improved the design and added several new capabilities in the PCBs. But the new PCBs could not be produced or tested due to the lockdown restrictions in India.
The cutoff was made with the help of a battery alarm and a relay to protect the batteries from going into the state of deep discharge. After the battery is discharged and after the cutoff, the relay switches the load to the secondary battery through the inrush for the continuous operation of the vehicle. The cutoff and the switching circuit had been tested thoroughly before the lockdown, but the PCB could not be manufactured.
In our previous developments, we used a compressed air-based torpedo system. However, that system was bulky, showed considerable losses in pressure. It could provide only single operation. Hence, this time we are using a helical spring-based launching mechanism that is much lighter, easy to work with, and give 2 chances at the task and showed reliable result in the initial phases of prototype.
The kill switch was tested on the prior vehicles and we are utilizing the same switch again. By shutting down the power to the central computer, it stopped all thruster and bring the bot to a halt.
Since we have tested our image recognition algorithms extensively and have done in-body testing with path and buoy on a prototype vehicle, we're extremely confident in our completion of these tasks. Our dropper has been tested underwater and on a prototype vehicle. We've also simulated the task in a gazebo environment and have been able to detect the correct bin without having to lift the lid. Therefore, we're extremely confident for this task too. We have tested a pneumatic torpedo launcher in the past and modified a torpedo and launcher design respectively for better accuracy. However, we are yet to have tested this rendition of the torpedo underwater, but are still quite confident with our design. Detailed strategy about the other tasks is covered in the second skills video on sensor optimization. We would like to thank RoboNation for giving us this opportunity to participate in such an esteemed competition and learn and interact with individuals in the marine robotics industry. We would also like to thank Delhi Technological University and our faculty advisor, Dr. Ajit Kumar, as well as all of our sponsors for their continued support. Thank you.